Good afternoon, everybody. Scott Fisher here with Senior Resource Connectors. We are starting season 3 of our series that we started a couple of years back to feature our experts in our coalition. And we have designed this series to specifically address challenges that families experience in the aging journey. That can be the seniors, that can often be those of us that call ourselves of the sandwich generation. It's a challenge as we watch our loved ones age, and we are here for you at Senior Resource Connectors. And for those of you that don't know, we are a coalition of over 40 companies, some of the very best at what we do locally here in the greater Phoenix area. We have consolidated our efforts to create an outreach and a narrative and an education pathway for those families that are experiencing challenges with their aging loved ones. And so today we get to feature my buddy Dana Kupper. Hey, Dana.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Dana is the owner of Prime IV. There are multiple locations around the city. Dana and her husband own the location on High Street in North Phoenix, Scottsdale, kind of right on the line there.
It's right on the edge.
City North is what they call that little neighborhood there, right?
Yes, right by Desert Ridge.
Gotcha. All right. Well, tell everybody what Prime IV is and maybe a little bit of your background. What's your motive, your inspiration? How did it come to be that you're in that world?
Sure. Well, we opened our business about 1 year ago in July of 2023. So we just hit our 1 year anniversary. And prior to that, I worked in marketing for American Express. And I just retired last Friday, so after 21 plus years, and excited to be doing Prime IV full time. And my journey really started, I started getting IVs just for health and wellness in 2018. And I would have a mobile IV company come to my house because I could be working. So if I were getting ready to go on a trip, I wanted to make sure that I was healthy and well for my travels. Or if I felt like I was coming down with something, I would have them come to my house and get an immunity IV to, kick it to the curb. And it was very beneficial. In 2020, or actually 2019, my husband started working for Prime IV, the company. And they had a location, but their first franchise off of that was in St. George, Utah, and it opened in March of 2020. So right when everything was kind of shutting down across the world. And about that time, I got a really bad flu, and so I was really sick with COVID for about 10 days, and nobody knew what was going on, and so I thought the IV company is never gonna come to my house. They're gonna think I'm typhoid Mary. But I finally called them on day 10. I had a fever for 10 days, and I said, "Look, I have COVID. I'm sure I still do. I still have a fever." They came to my house in a hazmat suit and gave me an IV. And within a couple of hours, my fever was gone. I felt better. I mean, it really, I knew it worked, but I really knew it worked after that, I just felt so much better. It was incredible. And then I had another one 2 days later and just felt like a normal human, person. So I never thought about this for myself because I don't have a medical background. I have a marketing background, but I love health and wellness. Taking care of myself is something that's really important. Helping people, making a difference in the world is really important to me. And in 2022, when Queen Creek, the second location in the Valley, opened, my husband and I met with the owners of that and the area developer and the husband of the founder. And at that point, we left there and I told my husband, I think we should open a Prime IV. And so that's kind of started the adventure. It took us about a year to get open. And I just really love this. I love helping people. We have people come in who, are sick, and then other people who are athletes who just want to be at their peak performance. Yeah. We've had prize fighters and triathletes. And so making a difference in people's lives, either if it's for preventative, where we have clients who come in once a month, twice a month to get IVs to maintain their health, or people who are getting high dose vitamin C, maybe because they're going through a health crisis. It's really amazing to see. I mean, our clients love us. They hug our staff. They're really grateful. And So in Arizona right now, there's 13 locations. There's 138 across the country.
Okay. We'll
And
unwind your story, how this happened, right? I think it happens for so many of us that are in this helping space. We find ourselves in here, but there's usually been some sort of triggering event, personal or to a family member, that propels us to make a life change. Like, hey, I've got a corporate job and a corporate career. And oh, yeah, by the way, now I'm going to launch a brand new business right after the pandemic. And this is my life's calling. And when I met you and when I speak to you, your energy and your enthusiasm is palpable. You love what you do, and it's clear.
yes, I do. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've had people, um I had a boyfriend die of leukemia, and so I took care of him. I lived in a hospital for 8 months, and then right after he passed away, my mom's cancer came back, and so I watched the same thing, happen with her. So I realized that if you don't have your health, you have nothing.
You have,
And it's very, very, very important to,
yeah,
have your health and to take care of yourself. And one of the things that sets Prime IV apart that I think is different is we're more of a spa. We do mobile IV, so we will go to places. But if you come in, it's a very relaxing spa-like experience.
right.
And so just as somebody would have a membership to their esthetician or to get facials or massages, things
Yep.
like that. We have the same. When people come in, we greet them with a lavender scented hand towel and some flavor infused water with electrolytes. And then after we start your IV, we put you in a full body zero gravity massage chair. And we give you some oxygen, eye mask, and a blanket, and we call it the 1 hour vacation.
Well, there's a couple of things I wanted to touch on in our time together, and maybe this is the time to bring this up. I find myself, I'm 61 years old. I'm in the sandwich generation. We have grandchildren. We have adult parents on my wife's side and my side, where we have adult parents in senior living. Our life is 4 generations and it's full, and we are in and out of these generations constantly. Oh, by the way, I run 2 businesses. Oh, by the way, I like my wife. I like to spend time with her. The time that it takes to do everything it can be exhausting, right? And so you mentioned some of them, like massage or Reiki and energy balancing or IV therapies. I'm concerned for the health. I'm concerned for people my age that find themselves balancing a lot, and our parents demand and require a lot of us emotionally. I feel drained. I feel exhausted. I don't want to depend on monster drinks.
Yes.
Tell me how you rescue me and some of the impact you see on guys like my age that are just flat wiped out, and how having a regular visit with you or intermittent visits lift and raise. And it's great. It's a part of a great plan to care for ourselves when we need that the most.
Yes, for sure. And we have a lot of couples. I know you mentioned spending time with your wife. So we have a lot of couples that come in, and they'll come in once or twice a month. They come get an IV, they go have lunch together or do something. So you could make it something like that, a date activity. But one of the things that I think people don't realize is, hydration is so important. We do live in the desert here, but our brains are 80% water, and your bodies are about approximately 60% for your body. So we're mostly water. And when you get dehydrated, that can cause brain fog and lack of mental clarity. It can also cause you to be tired. I don't know if you've ever noticed my kids when they say, "Oh, I'm really tired." I'm like, "Go drink some water." And, hey, if you drink a big glass of water, like just gulp it, sometimes that can give you some energy that you need. The great thing about IVs is if you take vitamins, with the vitamins, you're only absorbing about 20% approximately. So that's why you have to take it every day. So it depends on your stomach, your gut health, all of that, of course. But when you're getting an IV or an injection, you're absorbing 100% of it. So, and going to think about, if you went to the gym once, are you going to benefit from it? You'll of course get some benefits. Are you going to really see some great results? Probably not from going one time. And so that's why we recommend coming in once or twice a month. The vitamins, again, depending on your body, your lifestyle, your gut health, all of those things, will usually last any 10 to 14 days approximately. So coming in every 2 weeks to get an IV is really ideal for most people, because you're not having like oh, your body's in surplus and then it's in, negative, and then you're in
Yeah.
surplus if you come in once a month. But I know it depends on everybody's budget and their time. I think probably time is a bigger issue, making the time, but it is only an hour. It's about an hour of your time. You're taking some me time to mentally unwind and relax. And then you're getting those extra vitamins and nutrition. And we customize everything. We do have menus, but we talk to you, Scott, and go, okay, well, what are your health and wellness goals? And
Right.
what's most important to you? And what do you
Right.
want to shift and change?
Right.
And then we customize it for you specifically.
Yeah. How, oh, having been a person who's been working with the aging population for, man, 22 years now, I guess, and then some. We constantly hear, especially here in the desert, not only is dehydration an issue for those of us younger people or are youngers than me that are out working in the, they're doing roofing and they're doing landscape and all that kind of stuff. But our seniors, their skin is thinner, right? They are dehydrating all the time. You typically have assisted living facilities walking around with hydration carts to get people, well, they're only absorbing 20% of what they're taking in. So drink a lot.
Mhm.
How do you envision maybe in the future senior living potentially more aligning more with you and others like you that have a mission to bring that, the fancy word, the medical word is homeostasis, bring that balance to
Right.
our health, right? Where all of our systems are in homeostasis balance. So health can be best, what do you say, maximized, I guess.
Right. I think this will continue to it's becoming more mainstream, and I think it'll be more mainstream. It would be great if insurance, would cover it,
Oh,
which would be
yeah,
great,
right.
but it isn't.
Cost.
I know it's private pay, and I know earlier we had before we hopped on here, we had talked about employers. And so we have a woman who came in and her company pays for her IVs, which is really great. Well, she's been coming for a year and she finally brought her husband. So he's become a member, but he has to pay for his own. And it is interesting, when the companies pay for it, people are a little more consistent, because if people are on a budget and they have a family, it may not be in their budget. So we do love to work with employers to get them to take care of that as well. But definitely for senior communities,
Yeah.
we do have a lot of senior clients, and I think it's a mental also. I mean, we give them hugs when they come in, and they may, some of them don't have kids, or they're not married or have families. And this is their little social, couple of hours when they come in to see us. And we're doing things to help their body and help sustain them, but we're also giving them that social interaction and that touch. So, for seniors, we can definitely have, groups of seniors, come in here. They can come in independently, or we can actually do mobile IVs and go to
Makes
homes to help with
make
that hydration. It can prevent UTIs,
yeah.
bladder infections, also medication absorption. So when people are hydrated, their medications are going to absorb better.
Mhm.
People don't realize that when you're dehydrated, it can cause you to be dizzy, which can cause falls, which we don't want in
Biggest health.
elderly.
Yeah, the
It
biggest
can
healthcare
cause.
risk to seniors is falling, and dehydration
Mhm.
is a massive part of that. And when you're dehydrated, these medicines these seniors are taking are often then more concentrated. You can get more
Mhm.
woozy, more loss of balance, fog.
Right.
You're right. You're right
The,
on the money.
the side effects are multiplied.
Yep.
It can also help with fatigue. So if they're tired or wanting to sleep a lot, having that extra hydration can help. As we age, our quench for thirst actually diminishes also with food. So may not be getting the nutrition, or sometimes they'll want to eat the sweet things, right? And not get their vitamins and nutrition. So this helps for them to get a more balanced, vitamins as well. It can help with the immune system and immune support, so that they're not getting sick or colds, things like that. Muscle pains, joint pains, it can help with those types of things. And also recovery from illnesses and injuries. we have like a post-surgical renewal, a pre and post-surgical renewal. So it has like specific vitamins in it that can help with those kinds of things as well to prepare for a surgery or recover from one
Yeah.
as well.
Wow. Oh, wow, wow. Hey, we're kind of getting towards the end here, and before we get away, you and I, as we were preparing for this, we were talking, and you mentioned NAD, and I know you wanted to shine some light on that. Would you take a second to, and then if that needs more conversation, we will have it. But
Yes.
yeah, please
Well,
tell me about that whole.
NAD is so amazing. And I would pronounce, I'm gonna try it. It's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide or something. I can't even pronounce it. That's why we call it
We should
NAD
put it
plus.
in the show notes, right? But here we
I know. But if you Google NAD plus, and don't call it NAD because that's something else. But it's a critical coenzyme that's involved with your cellular energy production and DNA repair. Whatever you're born with is what you got. You cannot make any more. So you can take it orally. But again, it goes through your stomach. So injections and IV therapy is really great. If you've never done it before, doing 4 days in a row of NAD and then occasionally to boost it, it can help with cognitive function. So that's really, really beneficial. I did it a year ago in August, and I would, things would be on the tip of my tongue and it wouldn't come to me. So it took about a month after getting NAD, the 4 days in a row. Now things come to me. I'm just more focused. I have more mental clarity.
Wow.
It's also anti-aging though. So they call it the fountain of youth. So it can actually help with your energy production and cellular repair as well. So it can help with autoimmune disorders as well as people with Parkinson's. They have found a lot of times have zero NAD. So it's been showing to be very promising with that. And I even looked on the Michael J. Fox's website, and they talk about NAD. It's still newer, but it's showing to be promising. It actually basically converts your ATP into energy. So it can help you with energy. My naturopath recommended that I was doing NAD IV infusions about once every 3 months, and she recommended, my adrenals were tanked and I was exhausted, that I start doing it once a month and then do injections in between. I have no problem at all now with my energy level. I'm in a much better, it can also help with mood and mental health, as well as longevity. So it's something for people to really look into if they're into longevity and anti-aging.
Who doesn't want a better quality of life and longer of it, right? For the most part. That's fascinating. I think we should come back to that too and maybe talk about some of those studies specifically. And I love research, especially because we have become a culture that has so much neurodegenerative disease, like Alzheimer's, like Parkinson's. So when there is breakthrough and promising new avenues to address, families want to know about that stuff. I don't think we all believe everything begins and ends with our giant pharmaceutical companies all the time, and so we need, and it's healthy for our society to have those various modalities coming together. And thank you for stepping into that space and bringing it. I think that's awesome. If I would say, if you're looking for a incredible experience, Dana's your point person for incredible experiences for your health, for pampering and take care of yourself. For those of you that are caring for a loved one, and feeling that depletion, feeling that sense of exhaustion, this could be a real game changer for you. So, Dana, thanks for joining us today. Again, thank you for all of you that have been following us for now our 3rd season. We will be bringing you the best of the best again, to have lots of conversations about lots of directions on how to care for and support those of you families that are walking the walk with someone who is aging. So we are grateful for you. We are thankful. I will be back with you next week. We appreciate you very much. Dana, thanks. Good to see
Thanks,
you.
Scott.
And we will talk to you soon. Take care now.